I tend to probably mispresent myself to the public. As long as you keep 5 people like positive energy in your vicinity, you feel me? Like when I came up in this, but really like had to grind, and you feel me? I really like beat my feet for real, for real. I mean, like I said, like then I ain't wait for a TikTok moment or for Instagram or none of that. Like a lot of dudes probably came up over these years and.
The rise and unraveling of Kodak Black is a story that's almost too wild to believe, yet it's unfolding right before our eyes. Once hailed as one of the rawest and most authentic voices in hip-hop, Kodak's trajectory has become a chaotic whirlwind of controversy, public meltdowns, and deeply troubling behavior. It's like watching a train speeding toward the edge of a cliff, and no one seems to know how to hit the brakes. The rapper, born Bill K. Capri, has always been a polarizing figure, but lately, the cracks in his public persona have widened into gaping chasms, leaving fans and critics wondering, how did it come to this?
Yeah. Appreciate your support, truly.
I appreciate you making the music, man.
Thank you so much, bro. This means a lot, bro. We've been waiting for so long.
So, that means a lot.
Yeah, hey, today is also my birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, my way.
I appreciate it, bro.
It wasn't always like this. Kodak Black burst onto the scene with a charisma and authenticity that felt like a breath of fresh air in the rap world. His breakout hits, filled with gritty storytelling and unfiltered emotion, resonated deeply with fans who saw him as a voice for the streets. But even in those early days, controversy wasn't far behind. His legal troubles and brash public statements were a constant shadow, foreshadowing the storm that was brewing. Still, the music was undeniable. Tracks like Tunnel Vision and Roll in Peace cemented his place in the industry, while his raw talent made it hard for anyone to look away, no matter how polarizing his antics were.
Yeah, for the people.
Fast forward to today, and that same rawness has taken a much darker turn. Kodak's life has become a spectacle, not for his music, but for his erratic behavior and increasingly public struggles. It's as if his personal demons have spilled out into the spotlight, refusing to be contained. Take the now infamous viral clip of him sitting cross-legged in the middle of a busy street in Atlanta, casually munching on chicken wings as cars zip past. At first glance, it's easy to laugh it off as another Kodak being Kodak moment, but let's be real, there's nothing funny about it. The scene was bizarre, unsettling even, and it left fans scrambling to make sense of what they were seeing. Was it a cry for help? A misguided attempt at performance art? Or just another chapter in the rapper's increasingly erratic story?
Advertisement, you over there recording the wrong thing. Take a seat next to him, take a seat next to him. Enjoy that food, enjoy that. Take a seat next to him, brother. Talk to the people. I want to be part of.
And it's not just the chicken incident. His recent appearances have been a masterclass in public self-destruction. From slurred words and dazed expressions to incoherent rants during interviews, Kodak's behavior has become alarmingly unpredictable. His appearance on the popular live stream hosted by Kai Cenat, for example, was supposed to be a fun, lighthearted moment. Instead, it turned into a spectacle of awkward silences, questionable antics, and a freestyle so incoherent it left fans cringing. Even Cenat, known for his high-energy streams, seemed visibly uncomfortable, unsure of how to navigate the situation. The chat exploded with comments ranging from concern to outright ridicule. But one thing was clear, this wasn't the Kodak Black people remembered. What's even more unsettling is how these moments are stacking up. It's not just one or two instances of odd behavior, it's a pattern. A Rolling Loud performance earlier this year was another glaring example. The crowd, expecting the sharp and energetic Kodak of the past, was instead met with a stumbling, out-of-it version of the rapper who looked like he barely knew where he was. Clips from the performance went viral almost instantly, and the reactions were brutal. Fans were confused, shocked, and perhaps most tellingly, deeply concerned. This wasn't the vibrant, electric performer they'd come to love. This was someone who seemed lost, detached, and completely overwhelmed by his own reality.
That would explain to me how you guys are so lively at 3 in the morning.
You wildin'.
What?
The public concern has only grown louder with each new headline. Kodak's live streams have become a hotbed for speculation, with fans dissecting every word, gesture, and expression for clues about his state of mind. In one particularly jarring stream, he appeared to nod off mid-sentence, leaving viewers wondering if they'd just witnessed a breaking point. And then, there's the now infamous Drink Champs interview, a moment that should have been a celebration of his career but instead turned into a train wreck of slurred speech and disjointed thoughts. It was like watching someone unravel in real time, and it left fans asking the same question they've been asking for months. Where is his team? Why isn't anyone stepping in?
Tools, recording music, shooting videos, all that good shit with y'all.
Oh, the money's coming out. And the brass knuckles. Damn, I ain't seen those in a minute.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Where are the people who are supposed to be looking out for him? Kodak's behavior is screaming for intervention, yet it seems like no one in his inner circle is willing or able to step up. The industry, which once celebrated his raw talent and authenticity, now seems to be keeping him at arm's length. Endorsements have vanished, collaborations have dried up, and even his most loyal fans are starting to lose hope. It's as if the world is slowly turning its back on him, and the isolation is only making things worse.
I mean, is it kind of overwhelming just knowing that you've had such an influence on so many people, especially out of Florida? I feel like you kind of like birthed a whole new type of dude coming out of that region.
Damn. It means a lot to me. Like yesterday last night, a crying, and he made a signed his autograph, all that good for me.
But let's not pretend this is a new development. Kodak has been walking a tightrope for years, balancing his undeniable talent with a penchant for self-sabotage. His legal troubles alone read like a laundry list of missteps, each one more serious than the last. From weapons charges to probation violations, his run-ins with the law have been as frequent as his chart-topping hits. And while he's managed to dodge some of the more severe consequences, thanks in no small part to a controversial presidential pardon from Donald Trump, the toll on his career and mental health has been evident. That pardon, by the way, was supposed to be a turning point. When Kodak walked out of prison in early 2021, fans were hopeful that he'd finally leave the chaos behind and focus on his music. For a while, it seemed like he might. He looked healthier, more focused, and even talked about opening a CBD shop to help others manage their pain and stress. It was a glimmer of hope in an otherwise tumultuous career. But as we've seen time and time again, Kodak's steps forward are often followed by two giant leaps back.
Sign up for it. I love the money. So I gotta love everything else with it.
Definitely.
I take every picture I sign, every autograph.
100%. That's why they love you.
Why do you love him?
Man.
Yeah, that's why.
Now, with each new viral clip and concerning headline, it's becoming harder to hold on to that hope. Kodak himself has admitted that he's struggling, telling fans in a rare moment of vulnerability that he's fighting battles most people wouldn't understand. But even those admissions are often overshadowed by his next public misstep. It's a vicious cycle, one that seems to be spinning faster and faster as the weeks go by. And yet, despite everything, there's still a part of the public that refuses to give up on him. His fans, while increasingly frustrated, continue to rally behind him, flooding his social media with messages of support and urging him to seek help. Even fellow artists and industry insiders have started to speak out, with some offering their own stories of redemption as a way to inspire him. Ye, for instance, recently announced plans to fly to Atlanta to check on Kodak after seeing the viral chicken clip. Whether you see Ye as a savior or just another chaotic force, his concern speaks volumes about how dire the situation has become.
Change a lot of stuff in your life in order to be a football player, though?
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
I feel like all the tobacco is going to be a big problem.
I'm ready for it. Anything to stop nothing.
You could leave that behind for the sports
I could
life?
Stop anything, man. Like a big majority of like my youth been in jail. So like when people be trying to look at like a junkie, like what? I never have time to get used to nothing anyway.
But let's be real. Kodak's story isn't just about one man's struggles. It's a reflection of a much bigger issue within the entertainment industry. One where talent is often exploited, and the toll it takes on artists is ignored until it's too late. Kodak's journey, as messy and heartbreaking as it is, forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths about how we treat our celebrities, especially the ones who don't fit the mold of what society deems acceptable. And as this story unfolds, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. This isn't just about Kodak Black anymore. It's about an entire system that seems content to watch him spiral so long as the clicks, streams, and headlines keep rolling in. And at this rate, it's only a matter of time before the next chapter of Kodak's life becomes the biggest headline of all. And yet, as Kodak Black's downward spiral plays out like a slow-motion train wreck, the plot thickens. Just when you think the chaos couldn't escalate any further, it does. Spectacularly, enter Ye, the ultimate wild card. But Ye, as unpredictable and controversial as ever, has inserted himself into the narrative, claiming he feels a calling to intervene in Kodak's life. But let's not act like this is some purely altruistic move. Ye is no stranger to public meltdowns and spiraling behavior himself, and his own track record is less about saving others and more about stoking the flames of his own notoriety. So, is this a genuine attempt to help a fellow artist, or is Ye just looking for another headline to hijack? Either way, the collision of these two volatile forces has the internet buzzing, and for good reason.
The watch was for Trump or some shit. I was finna go give it to Trump at Mar-a-Lago or some shit. He said something like that.
Yeah, bro, that's a booty.
But does something like that make you feel like you need to be careful about who you're kicking with? People can just spread narratives like that about you?
West's public declaration that he's flying to Atlanta to make a difference in Kodak's life is almost too on brand. Here's a man who spent years navigating his own controversies, from explosive interviews to erratic behavior that's left even his most loyal fans scratching their heads. And now, he's stepping in as the self-appointed savior of a rapper whose life is spiraling out of control. It's the kind of headline you'd expect to see in a parody, but no, it's real. Bia even pointed to the fact that Kodak was wearing a chain from his Donda merch line as some sort of divine sign that he needed to intervene. You can almost hear the collective eye roll from fans who've seen this act before. But despite the skepticism, there's a strange magnetism to it all. Ye and Kodak, two larger-than-life figures, both drowning in their own chaos, now seemingly on a collision course. The question is, will this be a lifeline for Kodak or just another distraction in an already messy narrative? Meanwhile, Kodak's response to West's overture has only added fuel to the fire. In a live stream that quickly went viral, Kodak praised Ye as a real one, even as he brushed off the public concern over his behavior. But let's be honest. Kodak's live streams have become a spectacle in their own right, a window into a world that's equal parts tragic and baffling. From cryptic rants to bizarre antics, these unscripted moments have turned into a kind of tragic performance art. But this time, the stakes feel higher. West's involvement isn't just about two artists connecting, it's about the public spectacle of it all. It's about two men, both teetering on the edge of their own controversies, coming together in a way that feels less like salvation and more like a recipe for disaster.
I hate that dumb ass you touch my brother that, and I care what my brother think about me, you feel me? So like, I ain't like that. I ain't like it.
And while Ye is busy making grand declarations about saving Kodak, let's not forget the other players in this drama. Where is Kodak's inner circle? Where are the managers, the friends, the so-called day ones who are supposed to have his back? The silence from his camp is deafening, and it raises uncomfortable questions about the role of enablers in his life. Is Kodak being surrounded by yes men who are more interested in cashing in on his fame than helping him get back on track? Or has he pushed away the people who genuinely cared, leaving himself isolated and vulnerable? Either way, the absence of a strong support system is glaring, and it's only amplifying the chaos. Take his recent freestyle, for example, where he openly rapped about trying to court Reginae Carter, the daughter of Lil Wayne. The line wasn't just awkward, it was a glaring reminder of how far Kodak has drifted from the sharp, introspective lyricist he once was. Instead of showcasing his talent, he delivered a clumsy, borderline cringeworthy performance that did little to silence his critics. And let's not forget the context. This isn't the first time Kodak has made headlines for crossing boundaries in his lyrics. His previous comments about Lauren London, made just days after Nipsey Hussle's passing, sparked outrage across the industry. It's a pattern that's becoming impossible to ignore, a tendency to court controversy in ways that feel less like boldness and more like desperation.
They okay to do, try to open like an entity or like a corporation. It gotta be old people friendly. For a sniper game, be like, even though it ain't a game, like sometimes shit probably go through school and be like, now you gotta cross that, you got a beam wing shirt, you gotta take that shirt off. And a sniper is the most important man or woman on the battlefield. You feel me? Just really the mindset of staying like resilient.
But the most puzzling and heartbreaking part of this saga might be Kodak's own admissions. In moments of rare vulnerability, he's acknowledged that he's struggling. that he's fighting battles most people can't see. And yet, those moments are fleeting, quickly overshadowed by his next public misstep. It's as if he's caught in a cycle he can't escape, one where every step forward is met with 2 steps back. And while fans continue to rally behind him, their patience is wearing thin. How many second chances can one artist get before the world finally gives up on them? Even Kodak's legal entanglements have taken on a surreal quality. From his early run-ins with the law to the high-profile presidential pardon that shocked the nation, his relationship with the justice system has been anything but ordinary. And yet, the same pattern keeps repeating. A brief period of redemption followed by another brush with the law, another viral moment, another headline. It's like watching a loop that refuses to break, a cycle that feels both inevitable and inescapable.
Then I love music too. I had a passion for it. So like, I'm just having fun with it.
And now with Ye in the mix, the stakes have never been higher. This isn't just about Kodak's career or even his personal well-being anymore, it's about the broader narrative of how the industry chews up and spits out its most vulnerable stars. It's about the spectacle of 2 high-profile figures both grappling with their own demons, being thrust into the public eye in a way that feels more exploitative than redemptive. And it's about us, the audience, who can't seem to look away even as we question our own role in this unfolding drama. So where does this leave us? With more questions than answers, as always. Will West's intervention actually make a difference, or will it just add another layer of chaos to an already volatile situation? Can Kodak break free from the cycle he's trapped in, or is this just the beginning of an even darker chapter? And perhaps most importantly, what does it say about the industry and about us that we're all so captivated by this unfolding tragedy? Let us know what you think down below. Is Kodak Black on the verge of a breakthrough, or are we witnessing a story that's only going to get worse? And what about Ye? Is he the hero in this narrative, or just another player in the game? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.